Everybody, welcome back again to another night at the pigsty. Tonight I have been forced, literally forced, whinged and cried and just wouldn't shut up enough because she hadn't had an interview yet. So we have Krafty on with us tonight to tell me everything that I do wrong. Krafty, thank you very much for coming on. Would you like to let all the people who don't know, which I think is maybe one in the chat, that doesn't know who you are, because you've been around for fucking ages. I didn't even realise that we hadn't give you your whole show one for yourself yet. You just sort of slipped in and became part of the furniture without having to do that.
Yeah, I kind of do that. Hello,
like a
people.
bad smell. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know who Krafty is, Krafty, away you go.
Oh shit! How to describe my channel? I'm a sociologist. I have a master's in sociology. I look at conspiracy theories and try to explain them from the social perspective, not from the scientific perspective, because I can't do science for shit. There's plenty of people that can do that. I am bisexual. I am atheist, and I'm happy to be around and just piss people off like I do. It's fun.
Tusk is saying blasphemy in the chat. But anyway, hello Rob, welcome. Rob's here, Tusk's here, Nerdy's here, Theo's here. There's a load of fucking people here, 13 people. Cider's here, he's about somewhere. We've got Sandy, don't forget about Sandy. So thanks everybody for coming by, and we'll jump straight into it, Krafty.
Sure.
Yeah, I already know everything. It's a really short interview. We've already talked about all this before.
We're done.
Thanks for coming. It's been really good. Right. Usual question. You know yourself. What started you on the internet? You would be considered. You would consider yourself, the debunk community. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming too many flat earthers in Ireland.
Well, okay. So what got me started was I used to own a farm. Well, I used to run a farm. I used to be a manager of a farm. For 7 years, I was a manager of a farm. Mm-hmm. And in February, just before the lockdown came in Ireland, we had a volunteer. We took on volunteers. The volunteer was a flat earther.
Right.
Believed wholeheartedly in flat earth, anti-vax.
Thank you, Damon.
Kind of, yeah. All of the conspiracy theories that you can think of, 9/11, the whole lot. And having studied sociology, being an atheist myself, and he was coming out with a lot of the young earth creationist bullshit. So I was sitting there thinking, he's trolling me. He has to be trolling me. He can't be serious with all this shite. And it was in around the time of the general election here in Ireland, and he was like, oh, nothing's going to make a difference. I was like, yeah, so shut the fuck up. This is important to me, so if you don't like it, you know where the fucking door is. Go have a walk. Take the dog for a walk. I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. But he was so obnoxious. And so I started looking. I was like, surely this can't be real. He's trolling me. And then I came on, the first person that I came across was Conspiracy Cats, which a lot of people in the chat will know. And I was like,
that baldy guy, isn't it?
Yeah. not his brother Baldy Cats, but Conspiracy Cats. And he was the first person I came into contact with in the relation to the whole debunk scene. Mm-hmm. And
good introduction, very funny man. Had him on here, and funny story. I don't know if he remembers or not, but he did "You're watching MathPig," and I forgot to unmute, so I have a recording of him doing all of this. No sound.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I always slag him for not being able to tech. Now I can't tech for shit either, but his level of technical abilities is interesting. And it's amazing because I'm a year and a half now nearly on with my channel, and he's been such a huge supporter and such a huge important person in my life in the last year and a half.
Anybody got Conspiracy Cats' link? Drop it in the chat there.
Yes, please do. So it only makes sense now that a lot of stuff has happened and we're on in the same kind of wavelength. Now I'm collaborating with him on Agree to Disagree, the debate channel. So
are you the replacement then? I know Creaky had to take some time off and stuff.
I am. Creaky decided to first of all, the level of debates he wasn't really that into. He wanted to hear them, and he still does come into the chat. He still watches all of the content, but being a moderator just wasn't suiting him at the time, and he
Yeah.
wanted to. All of a sudden, his channel exploded, so he had to devote
Oh,
more
of course.
time to that.
Yeah. And, shout out to Agree to Disagree if anyone's got the link to that as well. An actual debate format, not
Yes.
like what people in the community are used to.
Well, while I was in university, from the first year in university, I was in the debate society.
oh,
so-
you big geek.
Yeah, I'm a proper nerd.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, there's debating and then there's YouTube debating, and they're two different things. And it's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
with YouTube debating, I found it was more hurry up and stop talking so I can talk, instead of actually listening.
Yeah, well, that is formal debates when you're doing them in school like that. They're broke down, they're under an expectation. You're here to defend your point, and you have to then actually retort to the other person's point. There's probably a section for that, and it's just insane on the internet.
Yeah. So when Agree to Disagree started up, I was the first Patreon. I was the first member. I was the first person to support it.
Not name drop all over the place. Come on, yeah, number one.
Yeah,
number
because
one.
the idea, but it was the idea of having those civil debates, not reducing everything down to a dumpster fire, not talking over each other, not insulting each other all the time. It was, let's have a proper civil debate. Let's get the information on both sides, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it. Let's get both sides actually heard without talking over each other, without it being reduced down to a dumpster fire. And I think a lot of people want that. They're tired of seeing the yelling and the screaming and the rage quits and everything else. Yes, there's a place for it. There's definitely a place for it. But
sometimes
there's also
I'm sure it still does
civil
happen,
one.
but it's not deliberately pushed that way.
Yeah. Well, that's questionable. That's questionable.
Not by the moderators.
It depends on which show you're watching.
I'm talking about Agree to Disagree.
No. Yeah,
On
we
Agree
don't
to
allow
Disagree,
it.
the moderators do not push for a dumpster fire, even though I'm sure sometimes one or two may appear. It's not.
Yes.
It's organic, and it's not. We're doing this for clicks and views. We're doing this to
Yeah,
have the
and
discussion.
yeah, when it gets to that point, when it gets to that point, we'll just cut people off.
Yeah.
We'll mute them. When it gets, and we'll allow people to just take a breath, think about what they want to say, and then come back in. And if we have to, what we'll do is we'll mute one person. We'll go back to, you have 3 minutes, you have 3 minutes, you have 3 minutes. That's the way we do it. Because the information instead of the personalities is what's key on that channel, and that's what I love about it. So yeah.
Well, entertainment still falls into it.
Yes.
You do need entertainment. YouTube is entertainment based. People aren't, well, that's maybe a bad statement. There is information out there, but in what we're doing and what we're talking about, it's an entertainment. You have to keep their attention.
Yeah, but I do find with debates as well, it is sometimes more entertaining to actually get the information out, and so that people are respected, and that's the main thing. So when it came to coming across Conspiracy Cats, I then obviously looked at other people, and I ended up one night on a live stream. My first live stream was with Mr. Sensible, and he had PhD Tony on. Anyone that doesn't know PhD Tony, you really should check him out. He's fucking amazing.
Are you looking at the chat?
No. Why is he there?
Poor Granny turns up and goes, "What's tonight about?" And I was like, "It's all about Krafty." And she replied with, "And her goat."
And my goat. And yes, in the thumbnail, he got the goat wrong.
I didn't get the goat wrong. I didn't ask you for your goat. I was just, your goat's deformed. Like, how is it going to walk? It's going to fall over.
My goat is a tatty goat.
It's going to fall over. Its head's too heavy.
No. Anyway. Oh, God hates us all, apparently. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
Slayer's here.
Yeah. So I was listening to the live stream, and I got very frustrated because everything about the conversation was all flirts are idiots, all conspiracy theorists are idiots, and they can't comprehend and they can't understand, and I was sitting there like, that is so wrong, because the guy who came to my house, yes, he arrived a flat earther, he did not leave a flat earther, because living in the house was actually someone who worked on ferries, worked on tankers, worked on large scale ships, and we sat down with them and broke it down. And the problem with that I saw with a lot of debunkers was they were reducing people down to idiots instead of understanding there is a logical way of thinking and there's an emotional way of thinking.
Yeah.
And conspiracy theorists, like the just like religious people, they are primarily basing their assumptions, basing their ideas on emotion. And you can't beat an emotional person with logic. You just can't. You can't discuss things. You can't win an argument of an emotional kind with logic. It just doesn't make sense. So I went on to explain, actually, the way I changed his mind was with stories. And I linked it back. Everything that I was saying was linked back to the conspiracy that he believed. And
Stories,
that's the way I
think,
started to
are
break
a
it
very
down.
good way. It's the same what I try to do here is find stories. What you're doing now is telling stories about the person you get to find out. I think a story tells more about the person than a definition or a label does.
Well, the main thing for me, because I studied sociology, and in first year you get 3 subjects. I studied sociology, English literature, and psychology in first year, and then I dropped psychology, so I did English lit and sociology. And the university that I went to they intertwined the two of them. It was great. So the greatest thing about literature that you learn that I was able to apply to sociology was this idea of reliable narration. Reliable narration is vital when it comes to analyzing what you believe. And so when you tell stories and then you say, well, does this seem plausible? Everything else that I've told you about working with goats has been true.
Mm-hmm.
So am I a reliable narrator? Now, I told him a story, for instance.
Can we use that logic and then transfer that to the interview and say that Clive is, from my interactions with him, is very reliable, so you do own Tusk a horse?
No, Clive isn't. See, you've only had a limited exposure to Clive.
No, I'm just saying, if we're using your logic and going by past experiences and this, that, and the other, then this is a slight private thing if anyone wasn't at the Krafty show on Sunday. She owes Tusk a horse.
Nope. No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Tusk is not getting a horse, and he's not getting a fucking dragon either.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. As we said on the show, he's always been wanting a dragon, and then if you turn up with a horse, it's sort of a letdown, you know. So I would say hold out for the dragon, Tusk, but.
Kenton is asking, why is there a goat? Okay, so the whole point of the goat is because I ran a goat farm. Mm-hmm. And it was something different. So when I reached 100 subscribers, because I started my channel live on that live stream with Mr. Sensible, when our first new babies arrived, I asked Mr. Sensible for helping me set up my channel and being a great guide for that, and Conspiracy Cats to name the babies.
Right.
And so I thought that would be a nice way, a private thing between the 3 of us. I'd asked them to do it. Cats came back to me and said, no, I'm going to ask my audience and say, like, include them in this. And he was like, we'll probably get like 100, maybe 2. 1.3 thousand people voted on the name of the goat.
Right. Very lot.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Lots of enthusiasm about the goat. Which has maintained. Everybody is very enthusiastic about your goats.
Yes. And he was called Space Comma. Which is an in-joke with Conspiracy Cats, if you know Conspiracy Cats, the whole Space Comma thing.
I make sure my grammar is correct because of that.
Yeah. And so, because Cats did it, Mr. Sensible decided, you know what? You started the channel on my live stream because people were asking you to set up a channel. My audience feels connected to you, so I'll ask them to name the other goat. And so Kepler was the name of the second goat, which I was secretly hoping for. So
you picked
it became,
the names, and then they did a poll?
They picked about 5 or 6 names each. And they put a poll up on their community posts. And the audience then voted. Yeah. And Goatee McGoatface was voted down twice, so there was no Goatee McGoatface in my herd, which a lot of people were disappointed in.
That's a British joke because there is a boat named Bodie McBoatface.
Yes. So what I would do was, while I was on the farm, I would have live streams and videos of the goats, and I'd post updates, obviously, about Space Comet and Kepler, and keep people updated. When I reached 2,000 subscribers, I actually posted an update. I'm gone off
you
the
have more
farm now.
subscribers than me. You're not supposed to be on here. Hold on, I kick you there. No, yeah. Go on ahead.
Thanks. But when I reached 2,000 subscribers, I had a friend go back to the farm because I'm no longer on the farm. I've been gone a year, literally a year. And I asked my friend to take photos just before they went to their new farms. So they're breeding males. So those two.
Horny goats.
Yeah. So I got a photo with the two of each of the named goats from.
You're using
the
OBS
channel.
camera. Can you share the pictures of the goats? No, not handy.
No. That's if you'd asked me in advance.
If we had talked about this beforehand, we'd have wasted it, and it wouldn't have been on the interview.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so that's
Critical
where the
Cripple
goats come
wants
in.
to know, are goats tasty?
Yes, they are. Goat meat is one. It's actually the most widely eaten meat in the world.
You sure?
Yeah.
Widely is very vague, though. You mean like it's yeah?
It's the most eaten. Maybe not the most popular, but it is the most eaten.
Yeah, get what you mean.
Yeah. So yes, it is tasty
Don't like goat's cheese,
if it's
though.
done right. If it's done right.
Don't like goat's milk.
Do you know?
No.
People have been asking me to write a book about the goats and everything that I've learned over the last 7 years. I've been thinking about it. I haven't done
A
anything
book
yet.
on goats.
Yeah.
Krafty's Guide to Goats.
I don't know. It could be successful, but I just haven't got round to it. But yeah, that explains the goats. That explains the goats. But yeah, that's how I set up. I set up live. I said, you know what? There was myself, Mr. Sensible, PhD Tony, and Huge Arse, and we were having this big long conversation, and out of it there was a lot of people in the chat asking me to set up my channel. By the time we had finished the I think it was like 3 days after that live stream, I already had 100 subscribers. It was ridiculous. So yeah, that's how I got started. And it was more looking at the sociology behind the claims of conspiracy theorists.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You enjoy telling people they're wrong.
Yes.
Hence the
Always.
thumbnail tonight.
Always.
Is it an Irish trait? I wouldn't say it's necessarily an Irish trait to be a mouthy, outspoken woman, but not enough of you, by the way. But you enjoy it. Yes, you are. Your personality would be a leader, someone in charge. You're not afraid to speak your mind. You see where I'm going with this? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I have no problem telling people what I think. Basically, it's not whether I'm right or wrong. It's just what I think. You can disagree with it. That's fine. But my main thing was to help those in the debunk community understand a little bit more from the perspective of conspiracy theorists. So when they were debating them or when they were discussing things with them, that they didn't just get frustrated and say, there's no hope for this person. Of course there's hope for that person. And we've had several people leave the flat earth community. We've had several people that were hooked on religion that have come back and kind of left those religious cults. So the idea that people can't change is something that I strive to challenge. I always challenge. And yes, we need more mouthy women in the community, in every community.
Yeah. The sociology and the psychology is something that I would be, and I don't have my paperwork the same as yourself and all that, but it's something that personally I would be very involved, interested in. You know, it's not what you think, but it's why you think that. Your upbringing, you know, your circumstances. It's people's personal testimonies and taking on. And regardless, we say personal testimony, it's very often used in testimonials from church and stuff like that and things like that. But everybody has a personal testimony. Everybody has their own story. No two stories are the fucking same. I don't care if yous are fucking twins. One's probably loved more than the other in your eye. You know, it's every one of them's different. And talking about religion and stuff like that, you are An Irish Catholic, yes?
I was.
You did
I
your
was.
paperwork.
I did my paperwork.
Dave's very fucking making sure all these Catholics have to do their paperwork, like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I was 8, I became. I basically went on the 24-hour suicide watch at the age of 8.
Right.
And out of that came a reliance on religion. I needed to believe at the time.
I find that with a lot of people. I went to an
Yeah.
evangelist church, and I think I talked to 10 out of the 9, or the 9 out of the 10 people that was there for talk's sake, and every one of them, my son died, alcoholic, this happened, drug addict,
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
It takes advantage of you at your most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it gives you false hope. And that's what I received. When I was 8 years old.
False hope, though,
after-
looking at it from now.
Yeah.
But in, yeah.
I came out of hospital, and one of the nuns from the local parish would visit me in hospital, and she gave me a VHS of, back then it was VHS,
Showing
of
your age
a
now.
yeah of a, what was it? It had just come out. I think it was called the Story Keepers or something like that, but it was like proper Christian indoctrination in the form of a TV show, in form of a cartoon. And when I came out, by the time I had come out, there was a children's mass, quote unquote, and so it's a weird thing. I came out, I joined the choir, I liked singing, and I literally swallowed everything that they gave me. I read the Bible back and forth.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing because after the 10 o'clock mass, the children's mass would start at 10 o'clock. And I took everything so fucking seriously because I needed to at the time. And then when I was 13, I came out as bisexual. I had my first relationship with a girl. And I was basically kicked out of the parish. I was kicked out. I was kicked out of the church choir because I was a bad influence. Now, having said that, the nun who had been with me all along on that journey, she had been hoping to start preparing me for nunnery school. She wanted me to go to a nunnery, and I actually considered it at one stage, but I was a child. That's the thing. I was a child.
10 and 11, I was in fucking
I
training to be a junior soldier and join the church that way. They grab you when you're young,
I was indoctrinated properly. Like after mass, we would spend, the choir would spend 2 hours in Sister Carmel's office talking about the New Testament. We would sit there for hours talking about it. And how it applies to society today, how it applies to how we live our lives. And so when I came to her and I said, is this okay? I like girls, like I like boys. What do I do? She told me that as long as I didn't act on it.
Wow. So bottle it all up, cause yourself mental stress, but if you're ever feeling low, come to me and Christ will save you.
Yeah, basically. That you have to read the text. You have to read the Bible a lot more, and
Catholicism has confession, right? Catholicism would be the only one that would have confession, yes?
Yes. Well, I mean, there was a lot that happened in the church, because when I was 12, a lot of stuff came out, and I was given a special cross. Certain people understand what that means.
Oh, that's a fucking disaster.
Yeah. So when I actually started retreating, because I was no longer welcome in the choir, I would still go and sit at the back of mass because I was so frightened. I started looking into other religions. And so next door to me, my next door neighbors were Protestant. And so I went to them and I tried to understand. Now, this is in a quote unquote Catholic area. I was the only person that would play with the children in that house because they were Protestant. Because we didn't give a fuck.
No.
You know, if you're Christian, it was seen to us, if you're Christian, it doesn't matter what type of Christian you are. You respect each other. You respect each other's beliefs. You treat others like you would want to be treated. That's what Jesus preached. And so I followed that to the letter. You know, you treat people how you would like to be treated. And it's more of a social aspect, to be honest with you. But I sought help. And I was given the King James version of the Bible.
Wonderful King James.
Yes. The KJV. And I read the KJV and I had questions, and I got talking to the father of the household. I'm 14 at this stage. And his family, I'd gone in to play video games with the sons. Like, there was 3 boys. I was a tomboy. We had great crack. So we were playing video games. The kids went down, the boys went downstairs to have their dinner, and their dad tried to rape me on their bed. Yeah. Because I had the cross.
Yep, because you had the cross. Jupit is asking in the chat. I just sent it to her in Discord, and her response was like, okay, I'll just read the response word for word. Like a fucking gold target or some shit.
The special cross is basically, it's to display to other men of the cloth that this person is open to persuasion, that this person has been either mentally, physically, or sexually abused and is open, basically, that you can take advantage. And he tried to take advantage that night. He went on the run when I came out with it that night. And after 8 months of being called a homewrecker from the locals, there was 87 cases brought against him.
Wow.
So that was fun. And like that, in the meantime, I had signed the papers. I had asked for my renunciation.
Mm-hmm.
I'd left the Catholic Church. I looked to the Torah because it was the nearest thing. Read parts of the Torah. I also read parts of different religious texts. I read translations of the Quran. I tried to find a place to fit in.
Went the spiritual route. Went, right,
yes.
Religion is definitely true. I'm just in the wrong one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, because I was working as well, you come up against a lot of different people. You meet a lot of different people. And by 16, I was working in a bar, and I was also working in Dunnes stores.
Oh, we gotta love Dunnes. We gotta love Dunnes. Good Irish shop there.
And so what happened was, I was in the midst of reading parts of the Quran, and it's very difficult to get your head around with the English translations. So
well, it's supposed to be read only in.
Yeah, I had left school, by the way. I'd left school by this time, and there was a posting up. You had to be 16, or you had to be 18 technically, but I was 17 at the time, and I had a letter of permission from my mum to go abroad with the UN. Well, it was a joint task with Amnesty International, the UN, and the Red Cross. And I was taken to the Middle East for 18 months.
Right, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I worked in refugee camps in Lebanon, Palestine, and Jordan for 18 months. So, yeah, that was incredible. That was and like that, and this was while I was reading the Quran. So I was able to actually talk to Muslim people, and not the extremists. And while there, we were meeting with peace groups in Israel. We were meeting with peace groups in Palestine. And we were talking about the historic differences and the social aspects. And it was absolutely incredible. And it was there really that I realized in the midst of this bullshit, how rotten religion actually was.
Yeah, like I just typed something, like Cider and Port was referring to Cat. Cat was shocked by the fact of the special cross. Stephen described it as a dark history. And 900 dead babies in the backyard of a convent.
Yeah.
All
that was the mother and baby homes.
Yeah, mother and baby homes. Right,
that was one mother and baby home.
One. Yeah, just one. Just one.
In a septic tank.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of history. But in the meantime, like one of the things that started questioning whether or not there was a God at all, and I think the first time I'd even allowed it to enter into my consciousness, the first time I said, there can't be a God, was 9/11. I had come home from work. I was on
in
break.
my mind, that's quite recent. I know it's fucking ages ago. Like,
yeah. But that for me, 2001, that was really a time in my life where I was like, that was the first time I'd ever allowed myself to ask that question. I was 13 at the time. So that was the first time I started questioning Catholicism. That had been in the summer. The first time I thought maybe there's not a God was 9/11. Now this went on for years. I couldn't accept that there wasn't a God. So it wasn't until I was 17 and I was in the midst of, where was I? I was in Hebron. Hebron? Well, I don't even know. Hebron is in the south, more southern part of Palestine. And the thing with Hebron is there's what's known as sterilized areas. They're like buffer zones, but they actually will call them sterilized areas. So you have the Palestinian side, because it's the tomb of the matriarchs and patriarchs right in the center of Hebron. And because Muslim, Christianity and Jew all are Abrahamic faiths, this is supposedly the resting place of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is absolutely sacred for all religions of the Abrahamic faith to be able to enter into the tomb of the matriarchs and patriarchs. It's huge. It's but it's also a flashpoint.
What do you mean by
and
flashpoint?
So, because if there's any trouble that's going to be caused, it's going to be in one of the little lanes surrounding the tomb of the matriarchs and patriarchs. When Jews want to get in while it's the Muslim call to prayer. And they're not happy.
Yep.
So one of these sterilized areas, there was a Palestinian man. And we dined with his family for, I think, 3 days. He was the last business owner on that street. And what had happened was there was an Israeli who wanted all of the business owners on that street closed to complete the sterilized area, you see. But if he sold up, that was the last entrance for Muslims to get to the tomb of the matriarchs and patriarchs.
In that retrospect, in talking about Israel and Palestine, I've seen a documentary where there was guys in England or guys in America who'd sold up everything and moved to Israel to take up a place of residence just to make sure that someone else, and they're from America. They've no dog in the fight or anything except their own personal beliefs, their own religion or whatever. But this guy was fucking deadly serious about it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Someone was buying up all the businesses. And this man and his family were the only business left on that street. And if they had sold, that was the last street open for Muslims to get to the tomb of the matriarchs and patriarchs. Mm-hmm. And if they had become a fully sterilized area, then Muslims wouldn't have been able to enter that building. And that's what started me on the path to sociology. Mm-hmm. That's why when I came home, there was no when I came home from that trip, I tried to get back into working in retail, but there was no retail work because by then the economic crash had hit.
2008.
Well, 2009, January 2009, I came home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so you're well in the middle of it then.
Yeah.
Just if I can, shout out to Jack Talon. Jack Talon does not turn up for any of my live streams because he is a pussy old man. He's also known me 27 years. So, shout out to Jack Talon in the chat, the old man that can't stay up. He's not actually an old man, he's the same age as me.
Yeah. Well, it was when I came home, I was 19. And that was the first time I looked into, like, my question was, I have all of this experience and I can't get a job working in a fucking shop. What the hell has happened? And that's when I turned to sociology. I looked to community projects. I looked to community groups to understand what was going on. And for years and years, I was working with different political groups, community groups, just trying to make things a little bit better while I was unemployed because I couldn't get a job for shit. And then one of the political organizations took me on as an organizer and researcher. So one of my jobs was to look at communities, to see what was happening in the communities, and to report back and ask the minister questions through my reports. So that became my job, and that's how I met the person who owned the farm. And then I ended up on the farm for 7 years while I went to university as well. So they gave me I do ramble on. Thank you.
Stop looking at the private chat. That's for me and Stephen. Don't look at the private chat.
I'm watching everything, you fucker. But yeah, they gave me the confidence because when I'd come home, I had lost all the confidence that I had because I couldn't keep a job. And that's what the dole does to you. When you can't find work and you're used to working like a horse. No, Tusk, not your horse. You don't get a horse. When you're used to working 2, 3, 4 jobs, to not be able to find one is devastating to your confidence. And it took me a long time to get over that. So I was building up my confidence again, and that's when I went to university. And for some reason, the Irish state think you're mature at the age of 23. So I didn't have to go through this big fucking point system that we have. Instead, I had to write an essay and have an interview. And I got chosen for 3 different courses. And then...
That's a good way, you know, there's different means of getting chosen for this, that and the other, and they've got the whole 11 plus and all that shit up here now, which I fucking hate, but yeah, no, that's not too bad.
I liked that one because, you know, I can fucking ramble on. So there was 2 courses in one particular university that I was interested in. One was the sociology course and the other was philosophy, politics and economics. And the English department, who I was originally going to jump onto, they had a little bidding war during their essay writing course where all mature students have to do. Right. There was a little bidding war right up until the close of applications because you could change your first preference. And so the 3 departments, sociology, English and philosophy, were all trying to get me and convince me to take their course. Because they wanted someone, because there was only 3
You really do
spaces for
love
each
yourself,
course.
don't you? You're just fantastic.
Well, there was only 3 spaces for mature students on these courses, which is incredible. There was 5 on the English, there was 3 on the PPE, and there was 3 on the sociology. So it really gave me my confidence back. 3 departments in the one fucking university trying to get me to take their course. It was quite something.
Well, that's it. If you're on demand. You know, if people want you and people care about you and people decide that they are a desire for you, it does make you feel better.
Yes.
So.
End of story.
End of story. There we go. Stephen, are you happy now? Right, end of story. So we've got there now.
You didn't even have to ask more than 2 questions. It's all good.
Oh, I knew that would happen because you love to ramble on. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another... I was going to say another, but as soon as I bring him in, he'll scream that I'm not part of the Irish and I'm fake. But anyway, we're going to bring in another Republic of Ireland Southerner and another person who knows Krafty quite well. And thought that if we brought Stephen in, we'd get a wee bit of a poke at Krafty, and the 3 of us go on well. We get on well. So let me just see if I can do this without making it look absolutely...
He basically wants Stephen to have a poke because his finger is injured.
No, I've got all
I
these
know, I
other
wanted
fingers.
to bring that up.
It looks mad. Fucking stupid white finger. Right. Krafty, let everyone know where you are and give me 15 seconds. Go on.
What do you mean where I am? What the fuck?
He means
Anyway.
shill yourself.
No, well, I've been chilling myself for a fucking hour now. So,
Well,
nearly.
Is it really shilling yourself if it's just kind of, oh, look, now I'm Krafty Keelah?
No, that lasted, you see, for all of 2 seconds, okay? 2 seconds, because I'm quite good at this, Stephen, and nobody sees me in editor mode, but...
Hashtag MathPig hand tech in the chat.
Oh, now come
see
on.
Let's see
With the people who's on this panel, I am a tech god, okay?
I mean, that is true.
Let's see it in the chat.
That is true. That is true.
MathPig can't tech.
I am a god in tech. Stephen, thank you for joining.
No problem.
You've been hanging out in the back room. You've been hanging out in the back room wanting to get your go at Krafty. She hasn't told me I'm wrong yet once, except about the goat. But that was a live chat. She didn't mention it on stream. But have you anything that you would like to ask Krafty? Because she's on stream now and she can't say no. She has to answer.
I mean, look, I've just been enjoying the conversation. There's been some stuff that I didn't know. I didn't know that you were in, you know, Lebanon and all those other countries when you were 17. I didn't know that. That was kind of interesting. No, I've just been kind of chilling out. I've just been drinking Coke and eating biscuits.
As you do.
Not even
Micados. Show us your biscuits. Show us your biscuits. If anyone doesn't get these, and if you don't get these in Europe or USA or anything like that, you are missing out. Micados, 2 coconuts, foam, marshmallow with fucking coconut sprinkles and jam up the middle on a biscuit base.
Fantastic.
It's like the ultimate biscuit.
It's like heaven. Anyway.
I still like bourbons with a pint of milk. A half packet of bourbon biscuits.
Bourbons with a cup of tea. Bourbons with a cup of tea.
Fuck tea. Fuck all warm drinks.
Fucking cup of tea.
No.
Do it properly.
You can't. You get.
Or
no.
actually,
Back to Krafty.
actually,
Back to Krafty.
Actually.
Back to Krafty.
Sorry,
Anyway.
just
Anyway.
before we get back to Krafty, back to Krafty, Tim Tams with a cup of tea. For all the Aussies out there, Tim Tams, best thing with a cup of tea ever.
Tim Tams. I've heard of them. I've never had them.
Yeah, I've heard of them as well.
There's one store in Ireland that fucking does them, and it's like next to Music Maker in Dublin. I can't remember the name of the
I
fucking
bet
shop.
you if you were smarter, you'd have looked on Amazon and you'd probably have
like
got them
fucking
delivered
tenner.
to the door.
Tesco's used to do them, and they used to be
Tuddock's
like
tea cake. Tuddock's tea cake. Jack has just said in the thing. That is.
Oh,
That's
with the jam ones.
that's
Now
a
the
good
jam
one.
ones. It has to be the jam.
Yeah. Can
In
I just
in
point
all
out,
honesty,
I love the fact
right?
that as soon as I joined, that this conversation went from like quite
Proper
serious
derailed.
topics
If
to talking about which biscuits are superior.
if you've got a few pound in your pocket, right? If you've a few pound in your pocket, you
Needs
go and
to have-
buy Fox's Viennese with the 2 biscuit with the chocolate in the middle. If you've a few pound extra, and if you're lucky enough, Hobnob's dark chocolate are an offer for £1 for a packet about this size. Now they are
I don't
just
like dark chocolate. Don't like
I
dark
don't like
chocolate.
dark chocolate later. Way too bitter.
So it's just a stream on my own then, because them fuckers don't like dark chocolate. How do you not like dark chocolate?
It's too bitter, man.
In
Like,
saying that, dark chocolate
take
is
it, you're
best
just-
had with a big giant pint of full fat milk, and that defeats the purpose. But anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you a laugh.
It's just-
Before I left school, and I think it was second year, we went over to France with the school, and we went. It was
Stephen
part of
puts
Euro
the views
school.
up by 3. Sex appeal.
It was part of Euro school, so we went part of the European Parliament, and that like little thing where you get all the schools together and they pretend to be little countries. Anyway, on the way back, I was thinking of what to get my mom as a present, and I got her one of those lint bunny rabbits. Do you know the huge ones?
Yeah.
That thing sat on the top of my mother's closet because she wouldn't break into it. She was like, "It's too pretty to break." I was like, "It's chocolate. You're supposed to eat chocolate."
Buy
What the
2.
fuck? It sat there for over 10 years.
Fuck off.
Not even joking. She wasted a whole bunny of chocolate, but sentimental value, I don't know. By the time I was like, should we open it? It'll be fucking moldy, but should we open it just to see how moldy? No, we didn't. We just fucked it out.
I'll not tell you a story about something I forgot about for about 10 years, because that's disgusting and people will think I'm an animal. But anyway, Stephen, have you anything to talk about with Krafty? What's your first experience with Krafty, Stephen?
My first experience with Krafty, I don't. I mean, are we talking about like this type of like this?
Oh,
type of
okay.
an
Well, if she
experience or,
sent
like,
you
a sexual
nudes before you
experience?
met on a live stream, we'll not talk about that. I'm talking about your first interaction on live stream and meeting Krafty.
Yeah, I actually can't. It was that long ago. I genuinely can't remember.
was a
Like
few
what
months
we were
ago.
talking about, or like what the like conversation. Well, it was more than a couple of months ago. It was
It was
like
a
a
few
year
months
ago.
ago. Yeah,
There was
probably,
no
actually.
way that we
No.
only know. No, there's no way.
No,
do
because
we
it was
not know each other for.
it wasn't until I came back, I think. I stopped creating for a couple of months because of some bullshit. And then when I came back in January, I think it was not long after January that
No,
I
we
met
know
you
each
on a
other
MathPig
way.
stream.
We know. We know each other long before January. Long before January.
Stephen was stalking you, Krafty.
I wasn't
I'm
stalking
kind of worried
you,
now.
but
Right, you should do what me and Dave did and actually sit down one night and work it out.
Like maybe
We went back through my videos and live streams and were double checking when Dave appeared in live chat and then when he appeared in actual stream, and we were trying to find the time. Yeah. Takes about 3 hours and you are still no more informed at the end of it. You just have an approximation. But
I know I met you on a MathPig stream
Yeah,
and you were doing something on your own channel like 2 days later or 3 days later, and it was more political. So I was like, okay, I'll pop in and see that. So that's how.
yeah. I think what actually happened was that the one time that I had an after party for one of MathPig's streams, and
Quite
you came
possibly.
to that.
Quite
I
possibly.
think that was I think that was I think that was the first interaction that we had. That seems to me like a lot longer than just January ago. You know what I mean? Like it seems like it was a lot longer ago than that.
well, it's guaranteed
maybe I'm
that
wrong.
fucking Krafty was about for the Math Keeney on New Year's Eve because she has an automatic gif of that, and that's the 1st of January. And Stephen
that
was
was funny.
around
Yeah.
for the Math Keeney Mark 1. He made me dance. So you were both there on the
I
20th.
did not.
You
mate.
fucking
How
made me
many
dance.
times do we
No,
have
it's
to go
your
through
fault
this?
that twisted evil motherfucking gif is out there. It's your fault.
I mean, it's literally not my fault. I mean, if anything, it's Krafty's because she fucking did she clipped it, but I didn't. But anyway,
anyway, enough
I
about
didn't
me.
ask you to dance. I asked you to turn around.
You
because
asked for a
said that you were
twirl.
going to.
No, you didn't say turn
Yes.
around. You said twirl. You
Well,
wanted
yeah, because
me...
you said that you were going to twirl
Well,
and that you
bitch.
just didn't. You
Yeah,
had
it
to-
was-
anyway,
I'm just
anyway,
trying to
anyway.
stick up for you, Stephen, and say on fucking New Year's Eve night, which is January the fucking 1st, the two of yous were definitely there.
I think
Yeah.
but I think that might have been where I met Stephen.
Oh, so the Math Keeney is for your friendship?
I don't know.
think so.
You made it so much weirder than it had any right to be. That was.
What,
that
you
was- no,
joined
that
over
was
the
just
Math
strange.
Keeney? It's fine, it's fine.
I think that was the first time. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I ever spoke to Stephen. Was on the that stream. The New Year's.
Just to see who has just appeared in the chat, Luke has been jamming. Luke, we will be having an after party. Have you got your big balls on
Hello,
tonight? Are you going to come in tonight, or are you going to run away again? After party will be
MathPig after show was streamed 10 months ago on my channel.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I'm looking at. I'm going through it now. I'm not even in the chat for that.
Right.
No, it was
Stop
definitely
looking when
MathPig's.
you's met. That's not important right now, okay?
You asked.
You
and
asked.
yes.
You asked me to figure it out.
Yeah,
There
not-
you go. I
not
figured
live
it out,
on
and
stream.
it didn't take 3 hours.
Not live on stream.
Not
So,
live.
couple of people.
Like
I'm
you
sure
don't know
want
me
to
at
join.
all.
Shut the fuck up, woman. It's my channel. Sorry, that was very misogynistic, but that's just you.
Extremely misogynistic. Jesus
Dick.
Christ. You all right there?
Well, I was just covering my ass. I was saying shut up because it's Krafty. She just happens to be a woman, and I would insult her that way just to insult her. You know, I would make fun of your man bun because you have a man bun. It's just, you know, these things are there. It's. Maya's just appeared.
Alright, then.
Luke's just appeared. B's just appeared. You're all turning up
Hello,
just,
people.
just as we're ending. But
See, I'm
sure-
not.
Well, we're not
important,
ending
that's the
quite
thing.
yet, but we have, I'm sure, people who will want to join the after party, so we will be able to have that. Krafty,
Yeah.
if you could, let me just see. There was something that you have one of your shows. You have a show. Would you let us all know about the different shows that you do, leaving your Sunday one to the end?
Okay. So, starting with the one tomorrow, I do. It's supposed to be okay. So everything is supposed to be monthly. That doesn't happen because I work at the moment. Now I'm working 12-hour shifts, so that doesn't happen. I do things when I can. So tomorrow.
About the fucking just. Oh, no.
What did you do?
What
What
the
did you
fuck?
do, MathPig? Fucking hell. MathPig can't tech.
Yeah,
See it in the
MathPig
chat.
can't tech, definitely can't tech.
It loaded in the wrong window.
Copshy. Yeah, so tomorrow I have Ion Society, and that is a more sociological driven one. We're going to be looking at freedom of speech, where it came from. It kind of takes issues in our society and explains how they became issues. So that's on tomorrow at 10, I think. I hope. Fuck's sake. Dave, no. Bad no.
Oh, that's
Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
You can see the goat next to me. Yes, there he is. There he
Right,
is.
Krafty,
is-
be quick. Come on, you're wasting the time.
Yeah,
Finish it up.
Right. So yeah, Iron Society is tomorrow evening. And then I have a show called Challenging Conspiracies where we look at the conspiracy theories. The one that I've been working on is on mythical creatures, why people believe them, why they give up their lives to hunt these mythical creatures down. And then the other one is Keelah Talks, where whenever there's a subject that I want to touch on and it's more my opinion on a subject, we go live on a subject. And then the last one is Life on the Flip Side, and every week we alternate between myself, my channel, and Steam and Couple Reasons channel, my co-host.
Anybody got Steam and Couple Reasons? Pop it in the chat, please.
Yeah, if someone could. And basically it's a random hangout, and we have guests on, but the guests aren't proper. They're not big name guests. They're the chat. So the whole premise is the last half an hour of a show, we put up the Spot the Goat. As you can see, the goat is there in the in my picture. You have to find the goat from the background, and you get to be the guest on next week's show. That's the whole premise of it. And it's just a bit of fun to get to know our subscribers, to get to know our supporters, and just to have a random chat and get to know each other. Have a bit of fun. That's it.
Now, in honor of Krafty and Find the Goat, I tried to have this prepared. Clearly that didn't work because MathPig can't tech. I'm going to try and you see if we can do this. If anyone hasn't seen this, they've really put a bit of effort into the video and all, and it's very good fun. So I will share this with everybody.
Oh, it's great fun. Jeff, Steam and Couple Reason has put a lot of work into it. I just show up and talk shit. That's it.
And we will go to. I know, keep talking, you two. Tell each other things.
I just seen Sandy in the chat saying it's a lie. They blurred the goat and make it tiny so us blind people can't find it. I mean, MathPig found it, so can't be that hard.
That was a fucking hard one though too. And I found it a couple of times, but I am all for hashtag standardize the goat.
That's not up to me. Steam and Couple Reason
Standardize
does
the
that.
goat, okay? You just need to standardize the goat. So on that note, we're going to do this, and it'll appear here, and I'm going to drag it. If the fucking thing works. Why would it not work?
Because you suck.
No, not because I suck. Because it's the fucking video player sucks major ass. Right? And nobody can hear. They can just see the music and stuff. So, we will go with this. Okay, so on that note, Krafty, have you anything you would like to tell the audience?
We're we're gonna have a game of Spot the Goat.
And we're not talking the goat beside Krafty.
No. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop my camera, and you are all gonna have to find the goat in MathPig's screen. So MathPig, make yourself big.
I'm going to do that now. Give me 1 second. Yes, my wee girl has, and whoever is the first person to find the goat gets, I don't know, notoriety. All right,
You get the kudos. You get the kudos.
you get
There
the
is
kudos.
no.
Okay, where's the goat? Where's the goat? I'm looking in the chat. And I'm going to refresh live chat. Okay, Cat just text something to Ox. Who's next? Who can find the goat? Can anyone find the goat? Who's going to find the goat?
I can't even remember where you put it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there.
No,
right there
it's not
in
on the
image.
Bucky label. The Bucky label has a deer, I do believe. And no, I'm not the goat. No.
This is an actual figure of a goat. So
There is an
look for a
actual goat. No, seriously, my wee girl has a toy goat, and I went and got her toy goat, and I hid it somewhere in my screen.
Dave got it.
Dave got it. No, yeah, Dave got it
Damn
twice.
it, Dave. Damn it, Dave.
It's because I made it full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had kept it at the small one, there's no way.
We have a little goat. Okay.
Yep, and that's basically what my chat turns into for like half an hour of people trying to spot the goat.
It's not rigged.
It's good fun. It's
not
good
rigged.
fun.
It's not rigged.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged. It is a lot of fun, and I didn't realize until Dave was on recently how seriously people take it. Because for me, it's just a bit of fun, like just spot the goat, like. But then I know where the goat is. I have in my little behind
Should
the
have stayed
scenes
small
thing.
screen. I should have stayed small screen. I feel like I give away the goat too much.
But yeah, so like I just show up and talk shit, but people really, really take it so seriously with the goat. I am trying to get reason to have a bit more fun with it and make it bigger. But then if you make it bigger, people are looking for the smaller one.
I
don't know.
genuinely think that you should get a couple of pictures of them dogs with the really long ears and put them as like red herrings around, and people would be like squinting at the screen going,
no,
it's in the top right hand corner, and you'd be like, no, that what did we call them?
Look,
we had
if
created
people-
names and all for them. We were
No.
going to call them Billy Bob and something else or something.
If people take it so seriously as they do now, I don't want to be leading them down to where, like, it's just, no. It would be too messy and not fun for people. We want to make it fun for people. So hopefully by making it a little bit bigger again, we'll include more people. But the problem is, if you have difficulty seeing, you're not going to get it, because the people that can see even the tiniest ones are going to get it first, and that's part of the problem. You're never it's very difficult to bridge that gap.
Dave's wanting me now to post him the goat, so Dave's actually won the goat.
He wants your daughter's goat.
That
So we're not
sounded-
having an after party. Thought we were going to have an after party, but Krafty's internet seems to have gone.
Yeah,
Fuck off. I have
just-
high-speed broadband now.
That just sounded strange in
Strange.
so many
ways.
different ways.
You
Right.
guys took it that way. You guys took it that way.
On that note, with the dirty goat joke, I'm a poet and I don't know it, we are going to move to the after party. So anybody who wants in the after party, send me a message on Twitter or send me a message.
Message.
In the bag of weed I have, man. In the fucking... yes, a message. Send me a message on Twitter or a message on Discord, and we will have a bit of banter and a bit of crack. Tonight has definitely been good crack, and we will continue the banter. Just send me a message on Twitter or Discord, and we will get that shit sorted. So, yeah, Krafty, the floor is yours. Go on. What do you want to say for the last wee bit? What do you want everyone to know? What is poignant? What is important? What is, change our lives with one paragraph? Go.
Oh no, I don't do that. Yeah, no. the main thing for me is YouTube is a bit of fun. I try to keep it that way. Bullshit has come in the past. I'm fucking done with it. And I get round to doing things on my own time. I'm sorry, but like if you're looking for someone that's going to be regular, that's not me. That's definitely not me. But I hope
eat
the
more
quality
fiber.
is huh?
If you're not regular, you should eat more fiber.
No.
Fiber?
Fuck off. I'm all over the place now. Blah, 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 blah. Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, look, in terms of agree to disagree, I've started the workshops for people who want to learn how to debate properly. So it's not just dumpster fire shit. No offense to anyone that has dumpster fire shit. I just think higher standards.
Why is she saying that with you in the panel, Stephen, and I don't debate? I don't know why. Go on ahead, Kafty.
That was not directed at Stephen. That was not directed.
I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't. No, it's just I don't know. I've had a few of them, and yeah, they're not fun.
Yeah,
they're not. They're not great.
Hurry up and get your message across. All right.
I don't know what message I'm supposed to be conveying, but yeah, if you want to check out my channel, check out my channel. If you don't, fuck off.
Oh yes.
You'll see me here anyway.
Apostrophe CKRA. That should work. No, that didn't, because I fucking got fat thing.
Fuck's sake.
That should work. Go Pigbot, do your thing. Stephen, have you anything coming up?
Yeah, I have a live stream tomorrow night. It is Return of the Kevin podcast part 2. I like twice in like the space of like 2 months. It's a little bit of a rarity. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're going to be talking about the fact that people are like strangely taking horse dewormer as a COVID drug.
And they're just to be clear, they're taking that because they don't want to inject something mad into their body.
Yeah. They are skeptical of the ingredients of the vaccine. Their bodies are temples, and they don't want to poison it by putting a vaccine in there. And so they are taking a drug designed to deworm horses.
Horses.
Anyway.
You made fun of me. Horses.
What? No, anyway, yeah, that's just what happened. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna be talking about like OnlyFans doing a fucking 360 on their business model in the space of 2 weeks. And we're going to be talking about whether or not cancel culture is actually a thing. Like, it's like, is it a thing? Do we have to be worried about it? Whatever.
Krafty, do you think we should cancel Stephen?
You're ready to kick me from the room. Like, you might as well just do it. There you go. Might as well just do it at this point, like.
Oh, I just clapped because I thought it was funny. Don't clap when you've got one finger half attached with 4 stitches. That's a really bad idea.
Yeah, that's not a great idea.
Not a good
Don't
idea.
fucking do that shit. So I'm going to end this and go and cry off stream in a minute. And thanks everybody for coming. No, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for the viewers for coming. Thanks everybody for turning up. Krafty, you know, you whinged enough. You got yourself a whole stream, and you didn't tell me I was wrong once live.
I did.
No.
I'm kind of disappointed, I'm not gonna lie.
You said that in the live chat.
I also said it on the fucking stream, you dope.
Oh, I did not hear it.
You were wrong about that. Now shut up.
Selective hearing. It's wonderful. Didn't hear it. And yeah, on that note, everybody, do not forget to think for yourselves. And we'll see you back here in 10-15 minutes. Bye.
Bye, people.